KTV 특별기획 정전 60주년 참전국 대사에게 듣는다. 오늘은 스콧 와이트먼 주한 영국 대사 모시고 이야기 나눠보겠습니다. 대사님 안녕하십니까?
안녕하세요.
Yeah, nice to meet you, Ambassador. You also communicated very actively with Koreans, yes, especially through your blog. Yeah, I also read once your post, yeah, where you introduced Korean war veterans as heroes of Korean. And how many Korean war veterans are in UK, and what are their perspectives toward Korea?
Well, there were about 50,000 British troops that participated in the Korean War, and there are many of them who are still alive. Obviously, most of them now are in their 80s, some of them in their 90s. But I've met quite a few of them. Groups of them come to visit every year. And for many of them, it's their first return to Korea since they left it after the war. And what's really heartening and enjoyable to see is when they see the transformation from the country that they left in 1953, which was devastated, people without homes, struggling to find food to eat, and they see the magnificent transformation in Korean society, in the Korean economy, in the freedoms that people enjoy here. And I think they are all extremely happy to see that the contribution that they made was worthwhile.
When North Korea asked EU embassies in Pyongyang for evacuation, British embassy remained until the end and urged the North to abide by international laws. And how could UK make such decisions?
Well, obviously we went through a very difficult period earlier this year with very provocative statements and actions from the authorities in North Korea. But both our embassy in Pyongyang and the embassy here in Seoul, we were constantly monitoring the situation. And our assessment was that really the threat to British citizens visiting or living in North Korea or here in the Republic of Korea, at no stage did we feel that the threat to them had increased. And so we kept our travel advice the same, and we just simply said to the North Korean authorities, along with other embassies in Pyongyang, that we didn't feel that there was any need for us to change the arrangements there. And I think that firm, robust, but calm response that the embassies in Pyongyang gave was similar to the response that we saw, broadly speaking, from the international community, and I think that helped manage the situation.
Recently you visited North Korea, right?
That's right, yes.
Yeah, so can you say about your visiting, recently visiting?
Well, it was my third visit to North Korea, and on this occasion I spent 4 or 5 days there. I had the opportunity not just to see Pyongyang, but also to visit the city of Hamhung. We have an embassy in Pyongyang, and it carries out an approach of what we call critical engagement. So when I visited, it was an opportunity for me to talk to senior officials in Pyongyang about our concerns about the human rights situation in North Korea, our concerns about the nuclear weapons and ballistic missile programs, but also to explain that the outside world is not hostile towards North Korea, that there's an opportunity for a different type of relationship should North Korea want to take that. And we were encouraging them down that road and encouraging them also to respond positively to President Park's concept of trust building and to see that as an opportunity for North Korea for the future rather than as a threat.
And lastly, if there is anything you to say to add for Korean viewers, please share it with us.
Well, I suppose what I'd like people to do is perhaps to take a fresh look at Great Britain. The Olympic Games was a great platform for the UK last year. I think it perhaps began to change the way people think about Britain here in Korea. And I'd like Korean people to think about the UK as a great place to visit, to study in, and to do business in.
Thank you, Ambassador.
Thank you very much. 감사합니다.
감사합니다.
네.
지금까지 스콧 와이트먼 주한 영국 대사 모시고 얘기 나눠봤습니다. 앞으로 문화, 경제, 환경 모든 면에서 양국의 협력이 더 활발해지며 이 130년이라는 오랜 교류의 역사 못지않게 이 양국 교류의 깊이를 더해갈 수 있기를 바랍니다. 시청해주신 여러분 감사합니다. Thank you, Ambassador.
Thank you.